Hey everybody, Dane here from StartHereFM. Today we're talking about chores versus progress. This is a re-recording from a video I did in 2015. This is a mental framework that I use every single day to think through how to plan my day, how to structure my day, and it's very simple. It's probably the simplest mental framework you've ever heard. It's not a routine, it's not a morning routine, it's a frame of how to think about your actions on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to hop into the iPad and we're going to draw and kind of diagram out what we're talking about. So let's hop in. Okay. So the most important thing, let's go ahead and make a new section. So by the way, this is an app is called Explain Everything. It's pretty cool. I had a few people ask me, so I'm just letting you know. So with chores versus progress, okay. My handwriting is atrocious. I apologize, but drawing does help. I've studied this for many years. Drawing things out quickens the speed at which you receive them. And everything I'm doing, and this will be a future lesson, I'm trying to think, what can I do to speed up the receiving end? So, how can I speed up you receiving the information that I'm teaching? That's all I'm thinking about. So, at chores versus progress, I was taught this from somebody who owns a farm. And it was a mentor of mine who owns many, many farms. And he said he broke his day down in a 1-to-4 ratio of chores to progress. So let's define this. What do chores mean? What do progress mean? That sort of thing. So chores, a good way to think about chores is maintenance. So anything you have to do to maintain your current reality. Progress is anything you need to do to move forward with new. So a good way to think about it is the word new. So maintenance versus new. Okay. So when we're thinking about chores versus progress, it's kind of breaking down like, let's give an example. It breaks down like this. Let's say you own a farm and on the farm you have cows. So I'm not even going to attempt to draw a dairy cow. I don't know how to do that. I'm a terrible artist, but you have cows and you have chickens. Well, maintenance and chores would be every morning at 4 a.m. they wake up, and from 4 to 6 a.m. they feed the cows and they feed the chickens. They do that every single morning, and they have to do that or their current reality dies. The chickens die, the cows die. It's just very basic, very straightforward, but it's a great way of thinking about your day and it organized. See, one of the biggest challenges that we have in an age of so much information, Peter Drucker called this the information age. The biggest challenge we have is mentally organizing the information. How do you organize the data in your head such that you can move forward with certainty and clarity? And even if you don't have certainty, how do you move forward with clarity? That's the most important thing, organizing information. This is one way to do that. So an example on a farm, chores would be feeding the cows, tending to the cows. If you have horses, cleaning the hooves out of the horses. I've never been, we own a farm now with a family farm. We're on a family farm here, but I'm new to it. So I'm not going to act like I'm an expert. This is what he told me. Then the example of progress would be like scouting new farm territory, new land. It would be buying new cattle, new animals. So new animals. It would be anything related to something brand new. So it'd be making progress in my life forward. And then chores would be anything related to chores that I have to do maintenance wise. Okay, I made that very clear. Now, when we think about applying this to our day-to-day life as a technical person, if you're in this Patreon, you're probably a technical person or you're in tech of some sort. You could be a marketer, a developer, whatever, but you're in technology to some extent, or you aspire to start a business, a technologically based business. So a side hustle, a bit, whatever. That's typically my audience. What I would do is I would break this down in your day-to-day life. So when you wake up, I would break it down like this: health, wealth, love slash social, and happiness. This is another way of organizing your thoughts that allow you to clean up a lot of extraneous or disorganized information. So I would start your day with chores in progress in each of these areas. So let's break down a full example from my own life, how you might do that. So let's say you want to do chores first. You can do progress first. It really doesn't matter as long as you stick to the 1-to-4 ratio. For every 1 hour of chores, you have to do 4 hours of progress. As long as you stick to that ratio, it doesn't matter when you do it. You could do progress first or chores. But let's use the example of chores. Let's say as soon as you wake up, you do one walk outside in the sun. That's the very first thing you do. That's your chores for your body. And you do 10 push-ups outside. That's it. You just go outside, get some sunlight, and you do 10 push-ups. That's your chores, your maintenance for your body. There's deeper levels to this. You could talk about diet, you could talk about, but let's just keep it simple for this example. Then wealth. You have to do something for your finances as far as chores. Well, let's say you have QuickBooks. And let's say you need to tag transactions. So you go through from the previous day and you tag all your transactions that are input from your credit card, your debit card, your bank accounts, your wife, your spouse's bank account. All that's tagged and set up. And that would be your chores to do that. Another example of chores, and this is something I've been teaching students lately, is every day, if you're dead broke, send $5 to a storage account. It could be $1. If you're dead broke, send $1 or 50 cents. The point is that you're doing something. You're doing some chores. You're pushing some information and chores out into the universe that you're taking this shit seriously and you're treating it like a responsible person. You're putting money aside every day. I don't love the whole put money aside once a month thing because it's really hard to do that. I love the putting aside money every day. And a tip, this is completely unrelated to chores, but a tip for this storage account is get one without a debit card. So go to one of the, most of you right now have like 5 or 6 bank accounts. Most people in the modern age have more than one bank account. One bank account that you're not using, connect it via the app, connect it to your primary bank, and then cut up the debit card. I literally did this. Cut up the debit card, cut up any cards related to that account. That's your storage account. That's all it is, purely storage. So you're going to store money there. That's all you're going to do. Then what you're going to do is start sending money there every day. 1, 2, 5, 30, 50, 80, $100. It depends on how wealthy you are. If you're making a ton of money, send a lot more, but send money into that storage account. That's maintenance. That's chores. You also definitely need to tag your transactions. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Mint used to be the thing that we would recommend, but now go to monarch.com. I think it's .com. We use Monarch. Monarch is better than QuickBooks in my personal opinion. I love Monarch. We use QuickBooks for business stuff and we'll have to do that in the future, but Monarch I love for the current reality that we have. I would recommend that. Go through and tag all the transactions. It's like cheap. It's like there's a cheap plan. It's like $7 or $8 a month. Not that expensive. You can afford it if you make some money. Definitely get that going so that you can tag transactions and treat it as your chores every single day for your finances. Now, love social. How do you do love and social chores? Well, one chore, or again, think maintenance, is one text to a friend. Like you send an article that you just read the other day. You're like, dude, check this out. I thought you'd dig it. I know you're starting a business in this industry. That could be your chores for your friends. Then for your partner, your spouse, whatever, you also need a chore or maintenance item for that. It could be one, like literally, it could be one loving message. You could send one loving message every day. You could do one make out, like you could make out every day. I know that sounds silly, but this is important stuff. Like having chores and maintenance every single day, it's critical. Otherwise, you're not going to maintain the reality that you have right now. So that's an example for that. So one loving message, LM. Now for happiness, you could do a bunch of different things. I know a lot of people love meditation. I've done meditation since I was 18. I'm 35 years, or I'm 36 right now. So I've done meditation for a tremendous amount of time. I am not doing meditation anymore because I found something personally for me that works a little bit better as far as the way I think about the world. And that's just for me. But anyway, we don't need to get into that right now. It's a very deep topic, but I would do, 3 minutes of meditation. That's it. Just 3 minutes of meditation. Just maintain your overall brain space, like your state of calm and presence. Find some way to maintain that on a daily basis. if you don't do meditation, your happiness might be that you go play basketball. So that combines two things. That combines your health chores and your happiness chores. Like that might make you so happy. Like I love shooting basketball. I freaking love it. There's a basketball net down the road. I wish I went to it more because it's kind of a long walk, but sometimes I'll go down there and just shoot basketball. Like it's so fun for me. It's happiness and it's health and it's chores. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Now let's go through the same example, but for progress. So health, let's go health, wealth, love, happiness. I didn't even realize this thing has a when you press harder, it has like gradients. Anyway, that's cool. So health progress, wealth progress, love slash social progress, and happiness progress. So health progress would be doing a new diet, starting a new workout routine, doing new push-ups. Like if every day you do 10 push-ups, progress would be doing 10 more, so 20. That's progress. So like let's say every day you do 10 push-ups in the morning, today I would be doing 20. That's it. Progress, some amount of tiny progress is critical. And then for wealth or finances, like let's say you want to start a side hustle, but it would be unrealistic to say, well, I'm going to come up with a side hustle and start it this week. That would be unrealistic. So instead, I'm going to do one executive summary. That's it. Just one executive summary every day. And, or sorry, not every day, but I'm going to do one executive summary today on a business idea that I have. And that's going to be progress because I'm making a tiny step forward and it's progress. It's helpful. It's tiny step, but it's not, it's not the end of the world if I don't do it, that type of thing. Now for loving social, you might make one new friend. So try to make one new friend per day. Man, my handwriting is terrible. So you might make one new friend. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. And then for happiness, that could be anything. Progress for happiness is going to be dependent on you and your personality. It might be reading one new book. Let's say you love fiction, like you're a big fiction guy, or you're just getting into fiction, which I love fiction too. Like it would be starting new book. That would be progress. Like start the new book, make progress on the new book. That would be progress. Chores would be like read an old book. Like let's say you read, I've got some old books here. One of the ones I love is Will Durant, The Story of Civilization, and a bunch of books by Will Durant. He's like this really epic historian from long time ago that barely anybody remembers or talks about, but he's one of the most beautiful writers in the history of writing. Like I love his writing so much. So part of my chores is flip through that book and read a few passages. Like it makes me feel good. It's chores. I've already read the book 100 times. It's not progress, but it's chores. It's part of my maintenance routine to keep myself healthy. And then progress would be like, oh, there's that new biography. Well, I should work on that biography. That would be progress. So anyway, that's just the way it breaks down. Anyway, so that's the structure of how to think about this. I do want to also say, let's do a circle here. And I want you to constantly think about your day like this. Chores versus progress, break it into a pie chart. So every day you should think about a pie chart. When you first start out, you might be 50-50. So you might be 50% chores, 50% progress. And the reason is because so many people neglect their chores. So they neglect their chores. And when they neglect them over time, when I have somebody start this routine, it ends up that they have 5-8 hours of chores because they've been neglecting. You don't have Mint or sorry, you don't have Monarch set up. You don't have QuickBooks set up. You're not tagging your transactions. You're not reviewing your finances. You're not putting money away on the side. You're not doing any push-ups. You're not doing any health tasks. You're not doing any diet work. You're not eating healthy. You're not even studying what healthy eating is if you don't know. You're not doing any happiness 1 minute even of a happiness thing. You're not going on any walk outside. Like it might be that if you've been neglectful, that your chores and progress might be 50-50 for like the first 4 weeks. That's totally normal. I've seen that happen quite a bit. And then eventually though, you really want to get down to this like 1-to-4 ratio where it's like, something like this. So this is chores, and the rest of your day is progress. Obviously, some of your day is sleep. So let's say this is sleep. You really want to be able to get to the point where you spend the majority of your day in progress. So, and this green is chores. This is exactly how I do it. And I'm going to give you a very tactical tip that helps me. And this helps me, and it's completely free. I've been doing this since 2015 on and off, and I do it consistently now for the past year or so. So I would really recommend this toggle.com. It's completely free. It's a time tracking app. Here's what you do. Don't go overboard. You can go overboard if you're really data oriented. You can set up 100 projects. You can do all that. But I would really set up, if you're brand new to time tracking and you've never done this before whatsoever, set up 2 projects, chores and progress. That's it. Make chores green, green for like, green like chores, right? It makes sense. Like green is maintenance. And then make progress blue. You can set like a color for each one. So make progress blue. You could change this, whatever makes sense to you. This is what makes sense to me. Blue is like business, green is personal. And I color code all my calendars like that. My personal calendar is green, my business calendar is blue. So I just think that way. Anyway, the point is, when you use this app to track your time on a daily basis on your phone, on your Mac, on your PC, make sure you're tracking your time. Am I doing chores right now, or am I doing progress? Like right now, the time I'm spending is progress to record this video, because this is a new video. I've never recorded this video before, and this is for Patreon. So it's like progress, right? So then once you record your time on Toggle for like a week, what's so cool is you go to the insights or reports tab, and they'll actually give you a breakdown. They'll give you like a literal pie chart of how much time you're spending chores and how much time you're spending in progress. Like, let's say it looks like this. That's way off. You need to review. So if you do the first week and you're like, whoa, my time is being spent way off, like I'm spending all my time on chores and barely any time on progress, you need to review that and you need to address that. And a simple trick is to hire. I mean, I get that a lot of people can't afford this, and I've been there. But one thing is, if you're spending all of your time on chores, it's because you need to hire somebody. It could be an assistant, a home based, it could be anything, whatever. Like I know a lot of people can't afford this, and that's fine. But if you're a business owner and you're spending all your day on maintenance tasks, fixing the email list, fixing this business, fixing this automation, fixing this Zapier thing, fixing this make.com thing, fixing this AI issue, fixing like that. If all your time is spent on that, then you 100% need to hire. And the rule of thumb, again, 1 to 4 chores to progress. If you're spending more than 1 to 4 ratio of chores to progress, you need to hire somebody. That's it. Okay. And this applies for personal life too. If you're spending all your time cooking, maybe you need to hire a part-time cook. Or maybe if you don't have that kind of money, maybe you need to go online and get meals delivered. You can get meals delivered unless you love to cook. If you love to cook and you're like, bro, cooking is part of my maintenance for my happiness. See, this is the thing people don't tell you. If you follow business people, they'll tell you don't ever cook your food because it doesn't optimize for profit. Everything we do should be optimizing for profit. That's cool, and I get that. But the issue is you have all these other areas of life. You have health, love, and happiness. We need to optimize for those areas too. Cooking could be something you love. It could be something that brings you so much joy, in which case that would be part of your health chores or your health progress or your happiness chores or your happiness progress. Like that's my wife. My wife loves to cook. I'm not wearing my wedding ring right now, but because I'm at home, but she loves to cook. She's like a baker. She's been baking since she was like 6 years old. She literally will work all day and then come home and cook. And I find that to be so inspiring. Like somebody loves something so much that they come home and then do it after working all day. That's super inspiring to me. I love seeing people do that. And you need to find what that is for you. What are the things that you love doing that so much so you can come home after a whole day of work and start rocking, start working on. And I mean, dude, at that point, chores and progress will be aligned. Everything in your life will be aligned, and you're just going to go up. And I'll tell you what, this is the honest truth. If you get this fixed, let's say this is a graph of your life. This is life success, and this is time. Life success could be anything. It could be happiness. It could be a marriage. It could be a family with kids. It doesn't always mean finances. It could be financial, whatever it is to you. If you get this chores ratio right, if you get this chores ratio to look like this, chores to progress, your life graph, I absolutely can promise you it's going to go like this. I absolutely can promise you it's going to go slowly up and to the right, whatever that happiness means to you. But if you're not doing the progress in your, if you're doing too much maintenance and you're not doing much progress, which is what most people do, then your life graph is going to very much, unfortunately, look like this. That's just the way it is. So anyway, that's it. I hope this helped you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.